Hello everybody. I've not reviewed a Ali Dawah video before, so I thought I would have a look at this discussion between him and the guy on the right who supposedly has a PhD. This video also brings in new territory for me in the form of some attempt at first cause and cosmological arguments. There should be fairly intellectual points made here. Let's see how Ali Dawah responds to them.
Just asking a quick question. Can you see dark matter?
We can't see it, but this study shows how dark matter could be measured. I will link this article in the description.
Can you see the air? No, you don't see it.
But
you
exists.
can measure it.
But exists.
But you can measure it.
Good. Dark matter cannot be seen, smelt, tasted, felt, or heard. But
No, it can be felt.
No, it cannot be felt.
In this regard, Ali Dawah is actually correct.
How do we know it exists?
We know, because we see the effects of it.
Then it can be felt.
No, see, you believe in something that you see the effects of, but you deny God when you see the effects of.
Dark matter is the best explanation for the gravitational forces we see in the universe. There is no scenario where God is the best possible explanation supported by the evidence.
What is the effects of God?
For example, the creation, your eye. The way you're created, your body, your kidney, your lungs, your heart.
I'm not created.
You're not created?
No.
Okay, so where did you come from?
It's a live semen from the bollocks of my dad.
Where did it come from? Where did it come from?
United with a fucking egg from my
Where did the
mother.
bollocks of your dad come from? Okay, can you tell me who gives the sperm the knowledge to swim?
It's not a who. The egg releases an attractant chemical which triggers movement in the sperm, and the sperm moves towards a higher concentration of that attractant chemical. This developed over time with evolution. The sperm have no knowledge to swim.
To the egg. Who says, go, race? Who does that?
That's begging the question.
I'm asking.
That's begging the question, fellas.
Well, I'm begging
When you
it.
say, yeah, you're begging it, okay, you're fallible.
No problem.
okay.
Yeah, exactly, I'm fallible.
Yeah,
so
I'm
I'm
not
begging.
gonna answer a fallible
so,
question.
how is it a fallible question? Me asking, how does the sperm
You
have the
said
knowledge?
who. By saying who,
Okay,
then you
what?
demanded the
No
answer
problem.
will be a person.
What
Twinkies.
What gives the knowledge?
What gives the knowledge?
What gives the knowledge to the sperm?
Intelligence.
Where the intelligence? Okay, if there's intelligence, then it requires intelligent designer.
No.
That's just an unwarranted leap. You could ask where the intelligent designer gets its intelligence from, and then you'd be reduced to special pleading.
Okay, so if there's
the
intelligence,
question again.
okay, no problem. Do you believe that there's intelligence in this, or information? Do you agree there's information in this book?
Yeah.
Okay, does that information require intelligence?
No, not necessarily.
Okay, so are you telling me that this has information, but there's no intelligence behind it?
Information is how we interpret what we receive from our sense organs. We see this star. Intelligence is needed to interpret this, but the star is there whether there is any intelligence or not. So intelligence is needed to interpret information, not create it. Regarding his book example, we know that books in a human language have been created by humans, but that does not apply to everything else that we see.
Do you know what information is?
What do you mean by that? What do you
Do
mean?
you know what information
What
is?
information is? I don't know the exact definition. What does it tell me?
No, but information can be also anything. It
No,
can
of
be
course,
also
no,
the
of course.
atom is information.
Of course,
The electron
of
is
course,
information.
yes.
Yeah,
So if
alright.
there's information, there's intelligence, like DNA.
No.
DNA, okay, does DNA have information?
We've already established that intelligence is not required to generate information. The information in DNA evolved over time from base pairs following chemical reactions.
Does DNA have information?
What, yeah.
Okay, good. If there's information,
Genetic information.
no
inheritance
problem,
information,
no
yeah.
problem. If there's information, it requires intelligence.
Not necessarily.
Okay, can you tell me why not necessarily?
Why not necessarily? I can give you something, a phenomenon in nature.
Tell me.
Snowflakes.
Okay.
Yeah? Snowflakes. Have you seen a snowflake?
Yes, on a microscope, yeah.
The hexagon
Yeah,
shape of
yes,
it?
yes.
No intelligence required. It's just a chemical bond.
Oh, no. Sorry, 1 second. Those chemical bonds have properties to make that.
Yeah.
It's a pattern. If there is pattern, then there's someone who designed it.
No.
Yes.
Snowflakes form when cloud water droplets freeze and accrete in a crystal form. The cohesive forces are primarily electrostatic. Ali Dawah needs to demonstrate why these properties needed an agent to design them.
Can you see your consciousness?
Consciousness is the state of being aware of and responsive to one's surroundings. So yes.
But we know to make the best inference to the explanation to the best inference is that we look at our universe and we see that there's intelligence. If there's intelligence, there has to be an intelligent designer. That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
According to your logic, you're gonna go now to special pleading because the intelligent designer it means intelligence. It requires also another intelligent
No, it
designer
doesn't.
design.
No, that's infinite regress. The intelligent being has to be necessary.
Yeah, you see, special pleading.
No, it's not special pleading.
Exactly.
It's not because
Exactly.
if not, then you have
everything has a designer
yes,
except my
the designer.
God has not a
100%.
designer.
You know why? Because if the God had a designer, then we have the fallacy of infinite regress, which is who created that designer that created that designer.
Infinite
you
regress
have
is not fallible, by the way.
It is.
It's
It is.
not
No,
fallible.
I said it's the fallacy of infinite regress.
No, it's not a fallacy.
Why is it not a fallacy?
In mathematics, it's not a fallacy.
I'm not talking about
mathematics.
In mathematics, there is infinite.
Is logic.
In mathematics, no, it's abstract.
Math is logic.
I know it's logic.
Yeah.
But in mathematics, can you have infinite?
Yes.
Good. But in the real world, can you have infinite? No. No, you cannot.
Yes.
Infinity exists in mathematics and philosophy. However, it is not a real physical quantity that can be measured or observed.
Okay, show me infinite in the real world.
The radiation.
No,
of the
they're all
sun.
finite. They're all finite. The sun is
The
finite.
radiation of the
It's
sun.
finite.
What is finite?
It's finite.
Can you count it?
Anything is finite. No.
you count it?
No, it's finite. If I
Infinite.
No, it's not.
It's infinite
No, it's not.
radiation.
No, it's not.
What is it now?
No, it's not. The radiation. If the sun is not there, is there radiation from the sun? We're talking about specifically the sun.
We're talking about the radiation that comes from the sun right now.
Okay, if the sun didn't exist,
Now you've given a hypothesis.
thank you. So therefore, the sun requires to exist for us to get radiation, which shows its dependency.
Ali was doing quite well on the infinity front, but now he's done a complete right turn and moved on to dependency. Let's see how he handles the contingency argument.
Okay, do you know what's the second law of thermodynamics? Energy cannot be created or destroyed, yeah?
That's the first law.
First law, thank you very much. First law, yeah? First law of thermodynamics is energy cannot be created or
Hey,
destroyed.
I'm not
okay?
a PhD, you are, right?
No, this one you
Second
did.
law.
No. You know, if you know it, yes. So it's first law, not second law. Okay. Now, the point is this. If energy cannot be created or destroyed, that means that, for example, it doesn't mean that it is infinite. It means that...
It is eternal.
No, it does not mean it's eternal. You know why? Because the fact that we have a limited amount of energy in our universe shows its dependency.
He says because there is a limited amount of energy in the universe that it shows dependency. This doesn't make any sense. For a start, we don't know if the universe could have a different amount of energy, or whether it's even possible to have an unlimited amount of energy.
We say energy cannot be created or destroyed in a closed system.
Energy cannot be created or destroyed in any system, but it can move in and out of a closed system.
Yeah? Therefore, if it's in a closed system, if there's a set amount and it cannot be created or destroyed, it's dependent. Tell me why I'm wrong.
Yeah, the PhD, let's correct you.
Please correct
It's
me.
an isolated system. Energy cannot be destroyed or
Okay, what do you mean by isolated system?
Okay, physics 101. This is a closed system. It means it can radiate heat to the system around it.
Okay.
And it can also get heat
Yes.
from the system around it.
Okay.
So it can get energy.
Yes. So in this closed system, yeah?
An isolated system.
An isolated system.
A system that cannot exchange energy, heat, matter.
Okay, so is our universe an isolated system?
Yes?
Therefore, is it dependent?
We only have one universe. We don't know of anything outside the universe. We don't know if it's possible for the universe to be any other way. If the universe is the only thing we know and we have no evidence of the universe interacting with anything else, then the universe is one giant isolated system. It's impossible to say the universe is dependent or not, because we don't know of anything outside of the universe. The universe could be dependent on a multiverse, or universe creating fairies.
My claim is that I know energy cannot be created or destroyed in an isolated system, but the point is this. Because it can, for example, if I set this on fire, this hasn't disappeared, it's just changed form. I agree with that, but it's changed form to something and the cycle will continue. But what I'm saying is if you go to the source, which is, I believe, the necessary being, I believe Allah created it, gave rise to it. This system that we have, it's not infinite, because we know our universe is either dependent or independent.
I get your point.
So he's concluded that the universe is either dependent or independent. Well done.
That's what I'm saying.
But but according to physics,
Yeah.
an isolated system,
Yeah.
if it requires a God, then he must be inside that system.
Why? I just want to know what.
Because an isolated system, the name says it by itself, it's an isolated system.
Okay, why does God need to be in the system? I'm just trying to understand. Please teach me. I want to learn.
Because the energy inside the system, so he has to manipulate the energy inside the system.
Okay,
He cannot be outside the system.
Okay, so we believe Allah is outside the creation. So we say when Allah wills it, Allah gives it these properties. For example, we don't know if you get a seed and put it on the floor, it drops on the floor, it might turn into a tree. We say Allah gave the properties for the earth to exist, for the seed to fall. So it's automatically, instantly willed to God. It all goes back to God Almighty. So we're not seeing it as blind processes. So we believe energy is created by Allah. The fact that it cannot be created or destroyed is willed by Allah. It has those properties to do that.
That's contradictory.
Okay, how?
The energy cannot be created. Then how
No.
created?
Listen to what I'm saying. In an isolated system, yeah? We're talking about when the universe, I believe the universe is dependent. And I believe it depends on Allah. So therefore, this isolated system of the universe was willed by Allah, and the properties that's happening inside, which cannot be created or destroyed, there's an initial process of creation. From that moment onwards, this is what we believe, I'm saying. Okay, good. So we believe that Allah willed it. This isolated system now has its operations within it, which is what? The energy within it cannot be created or destroyed. It is a function, that's all we're saying.
Then it's a matter of faith, brother.
No, it's a matter of if, for example, the universe is either dependent or independent. Do you believe it's dependent or independent?
I believe it's independent.
It's what?
Independent.
Good. Now, Brother Hassan, if you believe it's
Based on
independent,
the energy itself.
no problem. If you believe it's independent, me and you agree on something. We agree that we require an independent, call it a being, call it whatever you like. You give that title to the universe, I give it to Allah.
I give it to energy.
You give it to energy. So we will say that your God is universe. Why? No, but let me tell you. But let me tell you why.
I wouldn't worship energy.
No, but let me tell you why. But the fact that you believe it made our universe, you are in a nutshell giving the attributes that belong to Allah to universe.
Or maybe he's just admitting that we don't know of anything outside of the universe, so there is no need to insert any unnecessary being.
Now,
At least I have evidence.
okay, good. Now I say,
Physical evidence.
okay, good. My definition,
Yours, you have faith.
Brother Hassan. Now, if my definition of independent being is the following: it has to be necessary, self-sufficient, not composed of pieces, and cannot be any other way.
ليس كمثله شيء.
Good. Okay.
What's the relevance of the composed of pieces, and how do you know if something could be any other way? You might imagine something being in any other way, but how do you know if it's possible for that to happen?
Now, anything that is dependent is something that requires something else for its own existence, is composed of pieces, and it can be any other way. Now, do you accept that energy is a form of, it's a piece? Like it's composed of pieces? Good, it's substance. We agree that energy can be any other way. You can change form, good. I say that is dependent. The fact that it's dependent, I say, what does it depend on? It has to depend on a necessary being. That's my argument. So when you said, I believe energy is, the universe is independent, I'm disproving that by saying, if it was independent, it would not be composed of pieces, and it could not be any other way. We know our universe can be any other way, and it's composed of pieces. Therefore, it is dependent. If it is dependent, what is it dependent on? Which is Allah. That's my argument.
Again, that's a non sequitur. You haven't explained the relevance of the pieces, and you don't know if the universe could be any other way. Even if the universe could be dependent on something outside of it, we have no evidence of anything outside of the universe. The universe could be dependent on a multiverse or other possibilities. If we narrow down the creation of the universe to two possible gods, one of which ceased to exist after the creation of the universe, and one which continued to exist, how could you tell the difference between the two?
It's still based on faith.
No. I give logical. Okay, no, it's faith. I didn't say. Hassan, I didn't say let's go close our eyes.
Anything physical. You didn't give anything physics.
No, Uncle, I did.
Physically.
Okay.
It's a leap of faith and a mu'min that God created. And I don't mind that. That's your faith.
No, I promise you I'm not giving faith. I repeat again. My definition of dependency is the following. Something that depends on something else for its existence. Yeah? Okay. Number one, if it's composed of pieces. Number two, if it can be any other way.
The first premise.
Premise.
Is wrong.
Why is it wrong? Is energy not composed of pieces?
Energy is independent.
No, one
It
second.
cannot be created or destroyed.
No.
So it's not dependent on anything.
No. The fact that there is a set amount shows us dependency.
Set amount?
Yes. Trillion, quadrillion, whatever you want to call it. The fact that the energy is in an isolated system, the system is limited. Even though the energy cannot be created or destroyed within the isolated system, it is still limited. So that's why I was saying.
It equals zero.
Sorry?
It equals zero.
What's equals zero?
Energy.
What do you mean equals zero?
The whole total amount of energy in the universe is actually close to zero.
This is one proposed hypothesis.
I'm saying, imagine this is the isolated system, yeah? In it is energy that cannot be created or destroyed. It's just going to be here for forever, argument's sake, yeah? That is dependent because it eternally relies on the necessary being for its existence.
No.
Yes, that's my argument.
Yeah, but
yes, what's the
exactly. So as you see,
Yes.
let's click on this.
Yeah.
So you see, guys,
Yes.
isolated system cannot receive energy, cannot
Yes.
radiate energy,
Yes.
cannot receive heat.
Thank you.
Closed system can exchange only heat, which other words energy.
Yes.
And an open system, your argument would
Yes.
work with an open system.
No, it works with all of them. You know why? Because you said, for example,
going to receive Nobel Prize, brother.
Thank you, please send it to my house. Yeah.
Really?
Okay. So in an isolated system, it cannot receive or give.
Yeah.
Good. I have no problem with that. I'm saying it is still limited. The fact that it cannot be created or destroyed, I accept that premise. First law of thermodynamics. Energy cannot be created or destroyed, it can change form. Fully accept. Perfect. What I'm saying is this though, you're claiming this makes it infinite. I say no.
And that's infinite.
Okay. Eternal. Okay. I say no. Because the fact that we ask a question, number one, can you prove that it is eternal in the sense of its existence, not inside the isolated system? Because the fact that it's isolated and there's a specific system shows that it is dependent.
The rest of this discussion is repetition of the same points that I have debunked. My friend Socrates' Son has also done a review of this video. Please watch that. Thank you very much.